Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, today I will be talking about my birth story. I did a poll on Instagram about a month or so ago, and I asked if you guys wanted to see how we met or the birth story. A lot of you chose how we met. I filmed that. I will link it down below so that you guys can check it out if you haven't. But today I will be filming the, obviously, birth story. Did 3 years ago. Adam and I had been trying for almost a year at that point, and we're noticing that literally nothing was happening. Like, nothing was happening. So we were thinking, oh my gosh, like, Adam at first was like, I'm infertile, that's it, like, I'm done, I can't have kids. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. I would have never thought any of this would actually happen. Like, when you get married, you don't think that that would be an issue in your marriage. He got checked, totally fine, it wasn't him. So then obviously the next person it would be me. We went to a fertility doctor, and then it turned out that it was me. Like, she checked my weight, we did blood tests and things like that, and then it came back that it was me. I have it's like a minor, it's not anything like super bad, but a minor case of PCOS. So basically, like, I'm irregular, so it's harder for my body to, like, kind of get pregnant. And so once we figured it out, we started the fertility process. But when I thought of fertility, I thought it was more of just giving you a pill or a shot or something, and then basically just start off right off the bat. But it's not. There's actually a lot of work involved. It's hard, it's a struggle. Physically, emotionally, it's completely draining. And as a woman, you feel so inadequate and so just not necessarily worthless, but like you failed. As a woman, you failed, because basically, like, you know, when you want to be a mom, you're like, oh, well, I'm a woman, I can have kids whenever I want. Obviously, that's, you know, that's not the case. So I started on birth control, and that lasted for about, I would say, maybe a month on it, to try to regulate myself and all that. And after that, I was put on a strict diet. You can basically compare it to like the Mediterranean diet. I was put on that diet, and I was given about 7 or 8 different types of like vitamins and pills and things like that to clean out my system and give me all the vitamins and everything that I needed in order to basically prepare my womb for pregnancy. And once we did all of that, and I had these pills, I don't remember what they're called, but I had to go through them, and it was like 2 weeks worth of pills. Once I went through all of that, then I went back for another appointment, and they would check my blood again. And then if certain levels were where they were supposed to be, then we would move on to the next. So throughout the whole entire process, my body was doing exactly what it was supposed to do, but I just needed help. So once those pills, the ones that were for 2 weeks, were done with, and I went to my appointment, did some blood work, found out that all my levels were where they were supposed to be. So the next step was to lose 10 pounds, and I had to lose 10 pounds within 3 weeks in order to be able to get put on Clomid, which is a fertility drug, to get pregnant. So after the 3 weeks, I went back. I had lost 11 pounds, and I was right exactly where the doctor wanted me. So as soon as that appointment was over, she prescribed the Clomid right then that day. And that day I picked it up, and everything was scheduled to, like, intimate moments and things like that. all of it was scheduled. Like you see in movies like, oh, I'm ovulating. It literally was just like that. But everything was scheduled. And then the Clomid I had to take, that. I'm trying to remember. There was a week worth of Clomid, and I would take it, I believe it was every other day or a span of 3 days, something. I don't remember exactly how it went, but it was, I know, 6 or 7 pills. And after that, after I took the first round, my family had already, we had already planned like a family vacation to go to Florida. We were on vacation. We had a blast. It was so much fun. And then at that point I got my period. So I got my period and I was like, oh man, that really sucks. It is what it is. But it was a very short period for some reason, which is not normal for me. It was literally like a 2-day period and then that was it. And it wasn't heavy or anything. It was not necessarily spotting either, but it was just like a super light type period. And so then we came back. We were on our way back. And this was on, I believe it was a Sunday when we were coming back home. And I remember like halfway home I had called the doctor and I had asked her to go ahead and prescribe me some more, and she was like, okay, well, I'll prescribe it to you, pick it up on Monday, like tomorrow, but make sure that you test. Pregnancy tests, like testing for pregnancy, was every Tuesday. So she was like, go ahead, I'll pick it up tomorrow, but don't take it until you test on Tuesday morning. So I was like, okay, sure, whatever you say. I didn't take it the next day. Then at that time it was spring break. So then I was helping my aunt out and I was babysitting my 2 cousins. And Tuesday morning I was like, okay, well, let me take my test so that I can go ahead and start taking my Clomid again. I go into the bathroom. It was like, I remember it was like 6:30 or 7 in the morning, and I don't wake up that early, but for some reason I really had to pee, and I was just like, okay, let's just get it over with. So I go to the bathroom, I take the test, I put it on top of the counter, and I was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna go ahead and go. So I lay back down and I go back in. I remember I was like, oh yeah, I took the test. And I go back in, 2 lines. And honestly, that was the happiest moment of my life. I remember I woke up my cousin like in a complete panic, and she freaked out and she was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I was like, can you look? I was like, look at this test. What do you see? And she was like, 2 lines. And she goes, oh my gosh, are you pregnant? And I was like, yes, super excited. It was amazing. And before finding out I was pregnant and all this stuff, I had planned to surprise Adam. So I had bought a little baby onesie with like his favorite team on it and all this stuff. I was gonna put it in this little box and I was gonna give it to him. That did not go as planned at all. I was extremely excited. So I just FaceTimed him and I called him and I was like, you need to pull over. He was on his way to work. He was driving in the highway. I was like, you need to pull over right now. And he was like freaking out. He's like, oh my gosh, what broke? What happened? What's going on? And I showed him the test and he was ecstatic. And unfortunately, right at that moment, I also did tell 2 of his two of his best friends that also worked with him. So all 3 of them found out at the same time. But nonetheless, it was honestly the best moment ever. To finally, you know, like, get pregnant after almost 3 years of trying, and so many trials, so many dark moments for me personally, but it was absolutely worth it at the end of the day to be able to become a mom, knowing that so many other women out there are struggling and so desperately want to be moms. And I was so lucky to be blessed. So honestly, I'm so thankful that I was able to, even if I can't have any more, I am 100% okay with that. I'm at least a mom. I'm a mom to someone, and I was able to experience pregnancy, and I was able to experience childbirth, and yeah, being a mom. And yeah, so whatever, 9 months go by. Well, yeah, almost 10 months or 10 months. I'm not really sure how that works. But I had gotten to my due date. So my due date was actually March 20th, and my beautiful child decided he was not ready to come. I was having contractions, but they were super spread out. They would mainly happen towards the end of the day, not night, like midday, evening type time, maybe like from 5 to like 7, it would happen, contractions, but nothing. So then I went to my OB a few days later, and I was like, I really want to be induced. Please induce me. This is ridiculous. I don't understand why you won't. She would not. She literally was like, no, just let your body do it naturally. Horrible. It was horrible. By the end of the freaking 9 months, you're just like, I'm literally done. Like, I don't want to be pregnant anymore. So I ended up getting induced at 40 plus 6, so 40 weeks 6 days. I ended up getting induced that day. So I got induced March 26th at I think it was like 10 or 11 in the morning, and I labored all the way through. I did want to have a natural birth, but realistically I knew that that would be extremely difficult, and something that if I couldn't manage, then it would be okay if I got an epidural, which I'm glad I did. You'll know why in a second, but so I got induced at 40 weeks and 6 days. I labored. I got up until about 8 centimeters, and then I asked for the epidural. I was exhausted at that point. It was maybe, I would say, like, I think it was like 3 in the morning when I was just like, I'm done. I need the epidural. Like, I cannot do this anymore. So imagine laboring from like 11 to 3 in the morning with almost no progress. Like, the progress was extremely slow. It was a total of I believe 14 to 16 hours of labor in total, like the whole thing. But yeah, so then at 3 in the morning, I got my epidural, and I was able to like relax. I did not sleep. Like, they were like, just sleep, try to rest. I maybe slept for like 30 minutes, and I just couldn't. I was too excited to pop this kid out. And so then at 4 in the morning, she comes in. I was at 9 centimeters. She was like, okay, you're almost there. Just, you know, try to rest a little more, and then we should be ready to push soon. At around 5:30, she came in, and I was at 10 centimeters. I started pushing, like, right then and there. Like, they prepped. It took maybe like 5-10 minutes, the max. And I started pushing. I couldn't feel anything. Like, my sister-in-law had a baby February 14th, and she said she felt somewhat of something. She also had an epidural, but she said she felt certain things. I absolutely felt nothing. Like, they talk about the ring of fire that you still, I literally felt nothing. Like, it was numb, like nothing. Like, nothing at all. I asked at one point, I was like, am I even pushing? Am I doing anything? And then I pushed for about 2 hours, and at 7:23, I believe, 7:23, he was born. Right? 7:23, yeah, something like that. I'm so bad at this. It was like 7:23 when he was born in the morning. He was born. I teared, but not much. And I am so glad I got the epidural, because he was born 10 pounds 11 ounces, so almost 11 pounds. Like, that's ridiculous. And I did not have a C-section. I just couldn't believe what a ginormous baby I had. Like, it was crazy. And I remember the OB was like, can you please check him again? She weighed him like 4 times because of how ginormous he was. Like, they did not believe that he weighed that much. They were like, the scale is broken. Like, there's no way. Oh, and he was born a week exactly later. So I was induced at 40 weeks and 6 days, and he was born at exactly 41 weeks. So, yeah, I had a long pregnancy, but it was healthy. It was an amazing experience, and I got my little baby. So it was, yeah, it was an amazingly beautiful experience that I am very grateful to have had. And if I am ever so lucky to have another one, it would be just the best thing on earth. But I definitely do you need me? Oh, okay. But I am definitely extremely happy, and we are happy. We couldn't have asked for anything more. So yeah, that's my birth story. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, a great week. Comment down below maybe your birth story, or what you thought of what I told you. I'm not sure, anything. Just comment down anything you would like. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Please subscribe. Let's try to get to like at least 30 people. Like, but I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Do